Okay. Since some of the guests in Zoom, they don't understand Cantonese, so I can use English. So good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Sang. I'm an associate professor of the department. I'm also a program leader of the undergraduate program. So very fortunate this year we have the hybrid mode of Info Day. So we missed this kind of Info Day for 2 years already. So so some of you here with us at CityU and some guests participating this talks about Zoom. Okay. So during the talks, I will introduce the program, some highlights of the program. So if you have any question regarding any topics during the talk, please feel free to raise your questions. Okay. So so this is the Material Science and Engineering department. Oops. Okay. So not many of you heard about material science and engineering, especially in Hong Kong. So long time ago, back to 10 years before, Chinese U has a department of material science and engineering. And when I was an undergraduate, no, not 10 years, like 20 years ago. And about like 10 years ago, CityU also launched material science and engineering. But before it was integrated with the physics department, right? So this is called like applied physics department, something like that. And 3 years before, we separate from the physics department and from an individual department called MSE. This is because we see more demand of such expertise in material science engineering. So we better separate and set up a new program, right? So material science and MSc has been in higher education for more than 100 years. Before it was like very closely related to industry, you know, those mining and industry, heavy metal industry. So, but these days the material science are more closely related to advanced technology, such as related to materials. Right, such as semiconductor and plastic, bioconstruction, and all these things. So these slides I highlight what materials taking place. What material taking place? This is not the most updated PowerPoint. Let's see. Okay. Oh, no, then never mind. So I just highlight some keywords here. So material science, if you look at materials, is related to structural materials. It's all kinds of different construction, bridge, buildings, like how to test the materials, how to develop materials more strong and lighter. And also in aircraft and vehicles, especially if you look at the aircraft, it has a lot of different materials integrated together to make the aircraft more energy efficient and more robust. Right? And vehicles, there's a new technologies in vehicles called fuel cells that's not even in the market. So people are dreaming like converting water to hydrogen to generate energy for the vehicle. But this day, if you look around on the street, there's a lot of electrical car, right? And the breakthrough of the electrical car is from the battery. right? You know, the iron, lithium-ion battery. And this is mostly very highly related to material science and engineering. We have actually some professor, their research mainly develop lithium-ion battery. Right? So besides those like very large, huge components related materials, we also have some others like aspects related to electronics. Yeah. Do you know what's technology involved in this transparent displays? So like back to like 20, 30 years ago, I think most of the students here, they don't even have seen the CRT, cathode ray tube, you know, the very bulky electron gun, based on electron gun technology. And this day, most commonly used technology is LCD. LCD now, the resolution is very high and the speed is very high as well. I mean the response time of the LCD. Like I think some of like people have similar age as me. Like before you play like computer game, using an LCD monitor, the motion is a little bit blurry. It's because of the LCD response time is was quite slow at that time. But due to those advanced technology, is now pretty good. And this one is not based on LCD, and this one is based on something called organic light emitting diode. Using organic material as the semiconductor, it will emit light by itself. So you see organic LCD available in different sectors in the market, such as TV. Although it's the kind of more expensive than LCD, like double the price. If you go to purchase in the mall, you see the OLED TV is quite expensive, but the quality is much I don't think it's much better. It's better from LCD. There's also people developing organic solar cell as well, using organic semiconductor as solar cell. Right? So those developments are all based on the material, right? Materials and devices, how to like produce new materials that is more efficient for light emitting or light absorbing. Right? So also we have quite a lot of focus on energy materials as well. Some of our professors they are doing research on solar cells. Right? So do you know what's the most dominant materials in the solar cell market right now? This is silicon. Silicon is most abundant elements on Earth. You know the sand on the beach, there's silicon dioxide. If you refine the silicon dioxide, you get silicon and produce a very good quality of silicon crystal. They make electronic materials and solar cells as well. So, but these days, silicon has some problem because the fabrication of silicon requires very high temperature. It goes to 1,000 degrees to get a pure silicon wafer. Right? So it's not very efficient, energy efficient. And we always want to find an alternative of materials that can be fabricated in much lower cost. So imagine if you have a materials, it costs nothing, then you can even put it on your on your jacket, on your umbrella, or on the windows of your building to generate electricity. So in fact, there are some quite new materials, very interesting materials like organics that I just mentioned. Another materials that which is called perovskite is very difficult. Right? Perovskite material that you can solution process, like like printing the solar cell on paper is a solution that you can ink, like an ink that you can print on paper to form a solar cell. It's very interesting. So another aspect related to materials and the current technologies is biomaterials. Right? We have our curriculum cover partly on these biomaterials, how to develop biomaterials, how biomaterial compatible with our human. Right? So there's if it's incompatible, if you put something inside your body, then a lot of serious side effects. Okay. All this about materials in current technology, and materials are the building blocks of advanced technology. Okay. So our program, the main vision is to develop students with expertise to participate in high-tech industry. Okay. So like Hong Kong economy has been heavily rely on finance and real estate, and now people are arguing. In fact, this is the trend that you cannot escape to develop high-tech technology. This, if you see the success in Singapore, then this is the only way that our economy or the society will become more balanced and healthier. Right? And you see, we are very close to the Shenzhen. Shenzhen actually has very huge investment on technology. I don't see the reason why the society construction is very different just across the river. And the government now is also proposing developing the north part of the new territory to make it have more technology-related industry there. So, but that would be happening in the next 20 years, 15 years later. But even now, in fact, I have a lot of friends. They are working in science park. This is the science park, the Golden Acre Science Park. They are hiring a lot of people with materials-related expertise. Before I joined CityU, like almost 10 years ago, when I finished my PhD in Canada and worked in Canada for 6-7 years, I firstly joined a research institute in Science Park, which is called LAMI, the Nano Advanced Material Institute. This is one of the 5 research institutes funded by Hong Kong government. Another institute, which is automobile, textile, and ASTRI. This is more electronics and telecommunication. Okay. So I see LAMI, when I joined it was about like 200 employees. Now, after 10 years, it goes to like 400 employees. And they won a lot of international prizes of material-related development. Right? So I can see the demand of people with material expertise is increasing and increasing. And I will see the next few years later, they even set up some of the companies in Hong Kong. Okay. So in our program, we have 3 target areas. One is computational material science. I know lots of students here, they love to play games. They are very strong in coding. Even I heard some programs that designed for primary school students to learn coding. So So computational material science is one of the mainstream. You do a lot of simulations of materials, and it saves a lot of effort and time to develop new material. You put it in a computer. If I have this kind of structure of materials, then you can deduce, you can calculate what's the property of material. You don't even have to fabricate it, okay? Because fabrication, you may have a lot of challenges to reach the target material system. Another areas is functional material. Functional material is a bit abstract. What's the function? It covers a lot of different areas, as I said, like sensor, solar energy related, and light emitting. Right? Those are functional materials. And structural materials. Structural materials is very easy to understand, like concrete, like foam concrete that people now talking about, very lightweight, but thermally insulating, save a lot of energy, and strong. Right? Beside the building construction materials, we also have alloy, metal alloy. We have a professor, which is worldwide well-known professor. He's really an expert in developing metallic alloy, or we call it the metallic glass. Right? And plastic as well, like plastic, the institute I mentioned before, LAMI, they asked us if we have graduated, like any student graduate from our department strong in polymer, like some plastic material, plastic component, because they have a lot of projects collaborating with different with companies. They require people have some knowledge about polymer. Our department have recently established a talent program as well. So the talent program is the integration of undergraduate and postgraduate degree. Right? So in principle, you can finish an undergraduate, a bachelor degree. You can get a bachelor degree and a master degree in 5 years. Right? 4 years, 5 years. Or is it 4 years or 5 years?
5 years.
Totally 5 years. So it saves a lot of money and saves a lot of time as well. Because like you have a bachelor degree. If you have a bachelor degree, you can work in a tech company. There's still quite a lot of opportunity. But over the time, you don't want to be an engineer like in your entire career. Right? Then you'll be promoted to like a technical manager, senior manager, and a director, right? And those high level of position require high level of degree, like a master degree, or even a PhD degree. So the CityU, our program now offers this opportunity for those students who would be interested in doing science and technology to join this talent program. So now I give more details, a little bit more details of what are you going to learn during the 4th year of your study at CityU in our department. So in the 1st and 2nd years, they are mainly like lectures and labs. We are more focused on developing hands-on experience, right? Because now you get a lot of information from internet. Right? But you don't have opportunity to really touch the thing or really develop some skill, right? So we try to introduce that at each of the higher level courses, right? So that's why we have a lot of lab session in our program. For the content of the courses, it has like computer programming, physics, mathematics, engineering designs. We have engineering design because our program is accredited by the Hong Kong Institute of Engineering. So it means that after you graduate from this program, you're eligible to register, become a chapter engineer. It also requires additional working experience to become a chapter engineer. Okay. So it has thermodynamic kinetics, so it's very fundamental in physics and material science, solid mechanics, material structure and property. Those are very basic core courses in MSE. So after the first and second year, you kind of like more understand about yourself, your interest and strength, and two different extracurricular activities. You visit the company, then you know, hey, I'm really interested in doing, say, for example, biomaterials, right? Then you will be eligible to choose some of the advanced courses to get prepared yourself in the job market. So we have different directions for students to select. Right? You have like building materials, right? Ceramic, failure analysis, microelectronics, thin films, nanomaterials, biomaterials, and soft materials and composites. So it really depends your interest and your strength. Right? If you really want to do some simulation and you can do computational. Right? We have some advanced computational course. And if you want to join some like failure analysis, in fact, it's a very big topic. Like we have some collaboration with the Hong Kong Railway. I don't know who the exact name. Like right? So every time they get a failure of the track, they will cut it and send it to our departments. And we have a professor with long-term contracts with them to investigate. So why there's a crack here? Okay. So and those things. Some of our student graduates join the So here are some highlights besides the curriculum. Right. So we have quite a lot of industrial and overseas internship program. Later on, if you have time to join a lab, and then we have some students there, then you can talk to them. So how's your experience of those industrial and overseas? Those internship program, we encourage students to join like at least 2 of this program during their summer, because you can add some, you can add those activity in your CV, right? It definitely help you to get a job after that. And in most of the case, if you do very well in the company, they even give you an offer before you talk to you, give you an offer before you graduate. They ask you, if you are you interested in joining us after like June or July, you graduate. So overseas internship, we normally go to North America, Europe, and Japan. Right? So we have later in the lab, we have our alumni. Right? She is actually now doing a PhD in our department as well. And she went to Oxford in one summer. And what she said is, it totally changed his mind. Such kind of experience. Because first of all, the departments support quite a lot. And in fact, you only have to pay the flight ticket, right? And then most of the expenses are covered by the university and department. And during the 3-4 months in overseas institute, she has experience to know how other people work. Right? If you get a chance to go to some very good university like Oxford and Cambridge or Tokyo University to see their working style and see, oh, okay, doing research is like this. It's totally different from like what you expected before, right? And in this year, we are also launching some part-time internship within our department. Right? You may not know our department is the #1 research at CityU. We publish over hundreds of papers per year. Right? So, and a few of our professors are fellow with the very high recognition of their profession in Europe and in US as well. So, and then people ask, oh, okay, so they are so good, but I have never get a chance to in touch with them. Right. So this is the problem with before. So now we see, now we ask the professor to create some part-time position to let the undergraduate student to join their group. Not they don't expect the student would do any major contribution in their research, but to let the student to come to join the meeting to see how they discuss questions and to see how it works that right the lab works. The student may only do so like easy job like pinning or organizing the stuff. Or like tidying up the database, that kind of thing, or write a program or write a research group website. But through this opportunity, you can see how other people, especially our graduate students, like master and PhD, they came from very good because you learn from like better people. Okay, so talents program I just mentioned, right? And our program, I also mentioned our program is HKIE accredited. So I will talk about, I have one slide later to talk about it. And we also partner with over 50 local companies. Right? Myself, I am collaborating with like 2 companies in Hong Kong. Right? And I know some of my colleagues, they do collaborate with other companies. You don't think Hong Kong is like only finance. In fact, there are lots of people willing to spend money and willing to do something in high tech technology. Right? So one of the alumni, he came today to share this afternoon. He is a founder of a company in Science Park. He just graduated here 4 years ago. Right? He get funding from government about over $1 million for startup. Right? Quite attractive. Yeah, he can survive like himself for next few years at least. Okay, as I mentioned, our program is accredited by the Hong Kong Institute of Engineers. It has no immediate impact on your career, honestly. It has no immediate impact. But if you go a higher level of position, like a manager or director, this title will give you a fast track. So, for example, if you have 2 candidates to be considered to be promoted, one of them get is the chapter engineer, and then you get the advantage. Right? And you're also eligible to sign some of the professional documents, the chapter engineer. So I think this is what most people concerned about, like employment. Right? So we have over like 50, 150 of the our graduate students work in engineering and technical areas after graduation. In fact, this is actually quite good compared to other engineering departments. And So some of them go further study in scientific research work like a master or a PhD. This day we encourage more local students to do further study as a master PhD, and also initiated by Hong Kong government as well. You may not know now, if you do a PhD, if you're a local Hong Kong citizen to do a PhD, you don't have to pay the tuition fee. And at the same time, you also get paid with some studentship for about 18,000 per month. So this kind of work, salary. You don't have to pay the tuition, but you can receive some salary. To encourage more local candidates to join the high-tech industry. Okay, so just a way to give a summary of those companies that we our student is working on. Okay. So ASM is a high-tech instrumentation company. Aeros is the construction survey company. Okay. It's AECOM. Right? I have the chat. Oh, it's here. So this is, I just mentioned, the Nano and Advanced Material Institute. They often ask us if we have any graduate suitable for their program. They hire lots of material related. This is 100% related to us, Nano and Advanced Material Institute. They came to here every year to give a talk to our students to introduce their institute, and then some recruitment event also introduced by them. They also send their employee to do a PhD. I think this is the first year. We have one of his employee join us to do a PhD, but they have to sign a contract. After they finish the employee finishes the PhD, they have to work for Lamy for another 3-4 years. So they also now is like promoting their employees. They have set up a lot of like outstanding program for some good employee, high performing employee. They will give them a lot of resources. Okay, last but not least, I will show you the people that contribute to this department. Okay, we have quite a lot, over 30 professors, faculties in this department. And some of them are very highly distinguished professors, like Professor Liu, Professor Alex Chen, and so on. Okay. So this is what I want to share with you today. It's just a little bit over one. So if you have any questions, also people in Zoom, you have any question, you can type in chat. Then try to answer. So I think if you are like interested in science and technology, and you are a little bit conservative to enroll to pure science like physics, chemistry, you don't be worried about like getting a job after what I could do after I get a physics degree, besides like fulfilling my dream, right? Then you, I think some engineering department would be a good alternative. Especially material science, we have a lot of focus on physics and chemistry. So. Okay.我哋 quota 咧就最都幾多嘅， 所以我哋收生咧嘅要求咧就唔係話好高，通常20幾分啦。但我唔能夠作準啦，即係有收有21、22分，又有23、24分都有，能夠作準。但係譬如低少少，我哋都會睇佢其他方面，譬如有校長推薦啦，有啲係佢有冇啲其他 services 啦，咁我都會考慮嘅。哦，當然我哋係啊，問得好啊！我哋個計分咧就唔係就咁睇嗰個JUPAS 嗰個分數嘅，裏邊咧就會成一啲 weighting physics M2有冇？M2 有冇？M1 都有，M1 都有。通常嗰啲咧就我以往咧就成1.5嘅，有成1.5嘅，一啲我哋比較related 嘅科又會成高少少。因為都想即係有能力嘅同學去讀到多啲呢一方面嘅最難題。你明白？因為我哋有其他university嗰啲嘅，就即係啲嗰4年課程嘅安排啦。係。但我睇你哋呢度咧，就會唔會話你哋都係屬於 M 卷啦？係。M 卷會唔會話即係 M 卷第一年都係一個多 base 嘅形式，就係話讓第一年嘅 Year 1嘅同學都大概讀一啲 common 嘅一啲科目，跟住等佢哋再慢慢特別，因為其實好老實，呢一科真係好 specific 嘅。我哋睇嘅時候都覺得好似唔多其他學院會有開呢一科，所以我哋都想嚟到了解下，但係亦都老實，因為佢哋都認知唔係啲太多對於體驗，跟住都有好多唔同嘅 aspect。咁會唔會一開始突然間你哋話你哋招㗎，你哋揀咗呢科就4年都係讀呢一科㗎啦，還是你哋會有個 system 就話 N 卷嘅就有個 core base， 所有 N 卷嘅呢個健康嘅學生 Year 1都讀咗啲。呢一篇先至再揀。我哋好似冇行呢一步，我知係嗰啲我哋叫做 college admission， 即係你 admit 去 engineering 呢個 college， 之後咧就讀一啲board base 嘅 general 嘅 engineering 嘅科目，跟住到第2年先揀，我哋就冇嘅，我哋就因為佢就揀。Vivian 係我哋 admin 同事，負責 undergraduate， 佢又清楚過我哋。咁我哋咧有以往咧都有少部分咧就轉科嘅，轉咧點轉咧就係有人哋轉過嚟嘅，亦都我哋轉過嚟，即係學校有呢個 flexibility 俾同學話，我覺得即係讀完讀下，我覺得好似隔離係好啲喎，或者有啲睇隔離係我覺得materials 好啲喎，咁我想轉科得唔得咧？係得嘅。咁我哋考慮嘅因素就係當然佢嘅成績啦。你當然唔係考包尾，冇人想剔你入嚟啦，係咪？咁你我覺得就係如果你有興趣，你 enroll 咗咧，你再睇再讀，因為你始終未讀過嘛。咁如果即係但係個先決條件咧，就係你都要俾心機讀書咯。如果你一路讀得 OK 咧，咁你可以轉。有 flexibility 可以轉。咁第4年咧係可以交換生嘅。交換生我哋第3年已經可以開始啦。第3年已經可以開始。有一個成嘅，一個成嘅交換生。咁去外國啦。咁嗰啲 credit 咧都可以 transfer 到嚟嘅，咁唔會影響咗。最主要嗰邊乜嘢咧？如果嘅過去嗰邊係過去嗰邊就生活體驗嘅，可以 take 下佢哋啲課啊。咁但另外有啲 overseas experience， 除咗上堂之外咧，有 overseas internship 嘅。internship 咧你就去 當地嗰啲 research lab 嗰度做亦都係一個 term 嘅實習咁樣。咁嗰度咧你就可能會學多啲另外嘅嘢咯，即係你唔係就咁上堂你仲會幫手做啲實驗咁我哋有個學生就去做啲 simulation 計算咁樣，幫佢計下啲嘢，一個 structure 如果咁樣又點啊，轉一轉又點就呢啲。另外我哋有啲唔係 exchange， 即係都係 industrial 嘅 internship 嘅，有個 short term 有個 long term。short term 一個 summer 咁啦，一個 summer 去做好似做工咁樣咁大概咧就8至9禮拜嘅。咁公司會俾個即係細嘅 project 去做啦。咁公司有個 mentor，咁學校都有個 supervisor 去得人去傾下。咁有個 long term 嘅咧就係1年。咁1年咧會做啲咩咧？你就會喺間公司度咧完成你嗰個畢業論文。呢個都幾 interesting 嘅。咁我哋之前有學生咧就去咗煤氣公司嗰度去睇嗰啲煤管嗰個 material 去 crack，點樣 detect 個 crack去點樣修補咁樣。佢做咗1年呢個 bio project 咁即係 instead 喺學校做個 bio project 去公司做咁
都係呢一科過去啊，定係呢一啲過去啊，定係
通常
做一路翻煤氣又翻嚟呢度嚟翻係點咧？
但係咪都呢個 details 係，但係咁佢去咗點樣傳播咧？即係可能佢喺公司度做嘅，咁公司咧就每個禮拜有1日咧就俾佢翻嚟拎翻啲貨咁即係 make sure 佢去嗰度又唔會阻住個熱，就唔會追熱嘅。咁但係一日夠唔夠咧？咁當然即係個學生係唔係話好 ad hoc 咁樣突然間我想參加啦？佢其實都有 plan 佢頭3年咧已經選修多少啲學分到最尾1年咧，可能佢每個 term 咧只係得2科嘅咁佢計劃到。咁我哋係有so called 一啲 advisors、study advisor 呢啲先生。咁學生其實最緊要佢係主動啦，咁佢想就係做咩，想參加乜嘢，咁可以俾個餐單佢，俾個 package。你今年暑假咧就可以參加呢樣或者之後申請咩 scholarship，第2年咧參加呢樣。咁你咧學分上邊咧你點樣選咧就可以俾啲 suggestion 咁因為你去 overseas 咁樣 ，overseas 你有時去咗啲科未必入到俾你揀啱，咁你亦都可能要提前少少 pick 或者你個學分你要高少少先至去到某一啲嘅大學。
多位啊，嗰啲添我
哋會7、8個咯。
如果講緊係internship，我哋都有我有7、8個。如果講緊 exchange， 其實我只不過就係要睇過或者呢個成績，起碼佢個 GPA 咧，佢個學分咧要達到
4分就冇分啦，2.5其實唔係好高嘅，即係你普通讀下書咧都2.5以上嘅啦，勤力啲咧就過3嘅啦，即係你日財夜財咧咁就4啦。即係你即係稍為俾心機讀書咧，呢啲你唔錯過嘅。
因為講多次嗰個科呢個課程最主要係學啲乜嘢？係 materials science 係要學嗰個物料嘅 material 即係講強度嗰啲 tracking 嗰啲嘢。咁係主要嗰個即係我睇個應用喺邊度啊？或者係我哋即係好似話讀完商學會做啲乜嘢？你收咗幾間普通間，其實佢啲都好似我認識嘅就好似唔關呢個
有啲就唔係嗰個咧，就係我哋通常學生會去申請嘅公司係嗰啲。咁有啲當然就唔相關啦，有啲係家有啲係做嘅。咁有啲咧其實咧係 有好多research support 嘅嘢，譬如咁樣你 Apple 咁樣Apple 咁樣你都係做手機啫，係我即係香港我就講住係講翻其他嘅 Apple 大家都知啦，講啲即係大家都知曬嘅 Apple 咁樣嘅做手機做電腦但係其實佢一 team 咧做 material 嘅以前我有朋友就喺 Apple 嗰度做，佢去睇佢嗰個 display 嗰個 technology， 佢唔一定係做即係落手落腳做嗰樣嘢，但係佢咧要有啲人咧係熟悉 material 嘅，當佢去 evaluate 下你呢個 technology 得唔得，咁咪將來咧就用喺佢個 Apple 嗰度譬如而家 Apple 用緊嗰個而家全部手機都係用緊 OLED 嘅，變咗就係從 Apple 10開始，同埋佢嗰個標咧都係用有個 OLED 嘅 technology， 因為佢慳電。咁有Google 都有啦，即係啲大公司嘅佢都有啲material research team。咁有啲香港啦，香港有啲咁嘅 construction 佢都會請，就可能多請幾個同 material 相關，因為佢好多嚟嗰啲料咧需要做 testing 嘅，做 testing 咧，咁唔一定揾翻師傅嚟做可以揾有你 chapter 做 material 咧，你都係可以take 嗰啲 position 去做啲 testing， 呢啲啱啱大圍站上嗰度拆咗佢，即係話佢啲 concrete 唔夠，即係唔夠強啊嘛，就係有個起到一半就要拆咗佢，呢一類嘅公司。咁materials 咧，我你如果你睇咧，佢差唔多係啲 high tech 嘅 building box， 你每一樣嘅 technology 咧都 involve 咗 material 嘅。咁好多嘅新嘅 technology 咧，其實都係 triggered by material。頭先我講嗰個OLED 咧，而家講緊啲 transparent display 咧，foldable 嘅 flexible 嘅，即係你可以捲上捲落咧做一個 display 咁樣。咁有 solar cell 咯，而家講 foldable 嘅 solar cell， 因為solar cell 最貴咩咧？一部分咧就係個 installation cost。其實嗰個 solar cell 嘅材料咧，即係而家係硅嚟嘅嘛 ，silicon 唔係好貴嘅。尤其是中國咧，大量生產咧，差唔多係攞嚟鋪台嗰嘅，因為太陽能板咧，墊喺上面食飯咧，你都唔會覺得肉痛嘅。反而咧係個 insulation， 因為佢重嘅，有好多嘅你問裝村屋嗰啲屋頂就知啊，其實個架最貴，又唔係塊板貴，因為佢重。咁但係如果你係能夠做得輕，而家我哋啲新嘅 technology 咧就可以做喺塊膠片上，即係因為佢需要咁高溫，做塊膠片上。呢啲係同 material 有關嘅。咁另一個問題就係你點樣將呢啲嘢好系統咁變成一個學科咧？係咪？即係你知道嗰個問題。其實我有呢個新嘅 version， 但係冇咗有新嘅其實咧佢有5大部分嘅。第一咧就係performance， 即係我哋點樣去一個 device 即係器件嘅 performance 點樣做。另外咧就係 property， 佢有咩？譬如佢嘅導電性硬度啲 property， mechanical property、electronic property。第三咧就係佢嘅 structure。個 material 嘅 structure 係點樣？即係呢個一大學問嘅 structure。如果你係固態物理係一個好大嘅 crystal structure 有幾多種佢啲 bonding 係點樣即係呢個咧，我哋有琴日先啱，譬如有2科咧，2科半咧係教啲 bonding and structure 嘅。另外仲有characterization 即係點樣度咧？你點樣去度呢啲嘢出嚟？characterization 咧就包括個 instrument 點樣標即係你學一科要諗下標，要識點樣標個 instrument 同埋佢點樣去度到嗰樣嘢出嚟嘅，度到嗰樣嘢點樣去分析嘅，我冇 miss 到 4個，係咁樣分，主要係分呢幾個，之後咧就將佢就變成一個唔同嘅科目，咁樣去解。咁我哋 department 咧一年有好 worried 嘅，有30至60個學生入面咁相對起嗰啲好多人嗰啲咧，咁我哋覺得喺呢度咧就個機會多啲。咁我哋即係可以俾多啲學生去參與即係有個 lab 啦，或者即係先生嘅 lab 或者啲頭先講嗰啲internship exchange。其實喺其他院校咧，佢暫時都未有一個呢個高嘅。咁你又諗下，得你一個係咩啊？要啲咧，定係其他覺得冇用咧先開？咁其實咧，其他院校咧，佢唔係寫 material，因為佢嘅其他 relate 咁 engineering 即係 chemical engineering 都有部分幾 open 啦，即係幾大部分 open 啦，material晒。咁佢哋就冇需要即係將佢拆散佢，再開一個做拆。但 instead 咧，我係知，譬如 Hong Kong U 啊，同埋 Hong Kong UST 咧，都傾緊開一個 material science 嘅 institute， 反而係一種 institute 嘅形式嚟做，就唔係喺一個 institute 咧，就係好似唔同 department 嘅學生都可以參與喺入邊做一啲 project 啊，進電波啊。唔係呢個，唔係呢個，可能我係呢個，即係頭先我講個幾個process 有個係點樣做出嚟咧？process 點樣去製造 materials？ 咁有啲學點樣 deposition， 點樣 mix 嗰啲 alloy 點樣做啲 interface 嘅界。咁由呢5個主要嘅方向咧，就再將唔同嘅 area 嘅實，即係比較系統啲去教學。
其實都係咁講，而家應該會呢一個 program 所教出嚟嘅 knowledge，喺國內可能需要呢方面嘅人才。
國內好犀利嘅，國內一年收8啲，譬如國內華美工係有100幾個，因為佢個邊邊嘅需求好大，一出去就揾呢個華為啊，即係啲大公司咧，富士康嘅，一出去就揾。咁反而國內嘅學生就好，即係佢哋就好想過嚟呢度嘅，但係我哋又高，即係所以喺一班入邊咧，嗰幾個國內學生咧，都係國內好好嘅學生，即係我哋喺香港我哋報國外嗰度都係交，好似有新嘅，即係南科大。
我哋而家其實唔係我哋有部分嘅國內學校。咁同埋而家有啲仲專緊嘅，咁但係如果到小朋友譬如話咁去到第2年開始申請嘅時候咧，咁佢大學都不斷喺度申請好多新嘅 agreement，可能已經喺度可以㗎。
都係大趨勢。
聽啲就唔知啦，聽唔到嗰啲。
係咪？
因為淨係睇名，你唔會
即係如果你
measure 係點？
我就聽譬如有啲人就唔想翻去做嘢啦，當唔想翻去做嘢，咁你呢度都有機會嘅。但係如果有啲其他人咧係即係有興趣想試下翻去做嘢咧，咁呢個機會就真係大。
呢科係幾時開始立價？係新嘅 faculty 定係咩？
喺 CityU 度不過佢開頭咧就apply physics 咧就加埋科係第一 apply physics 入邊有兩個 program 嘅就啦，我都理解咗㗎。即係 join 個 department 咧有兩個 program 即係好似你 join 師傅可能有幾個，有兩個 program 一個就係 physics， 一個就係 build engineering。咁而家即係我哋睇到需求大啲啦，就即係當有一啲幾年前啦，18。有幾人㗎？我哋有30至50度啦，會收。咁你話4年 total 100幾份。
咁少人嘅30幾人，一年
30幾，因為學校分工㗎，即係唔係我哋話收一排一定收一排，即係因為學校即係可能嗰個做法就係香港政府俾學校嘅臨時鋪係佢2000人嘅，咁咧就喺入邊再俾分，跟住學校就派。OK。
如果你哋唔趕住走咧，其實嚟到1點鐘，我哋要有 lab tour 嘅。係啦，咁 lab tour 咧就有頭先收工講過，譬如話我哋會去啲實驗室啦，同埋會睇一啲嘅老師同埋其他啲。
每個鐘
係啊，去到4點，跟住到最尾係4點。
你可以嚟翻呢度。呢度前邊嗰個 research
係啦，
我哋呢個 lecture hall 嗰個
報寫係咩位置啊？
佢可能寫得比較模糊，佢就
有幾層？都係兩層。
係啦，嗰個全部係啦，全部喺度集合咗先。